Hey, this is a showcase of the Advanced AI project, which consists of a scene containing guards and a spy, each with their own behavioral algorithms. For this project, the guards utilize behavior trees and the spy utilizes goal-oriented action planning. So let's flick on over to Visual Studios and take a look at some of the code behind it. For the guards, I used a behavior tree. Each guard has a reference to the behavior tree class, which on construction generates all of the nodes and branches and leaves of the tree required and builds the tree. This particular one builds a tree roughly similar to what we see on the right hand side over here and updates from the root selector node every tick directly from the guard itself. The field of view is built as a class for both the guard and the spy to share. The angle and radius are always passed in to allow for greater control, but will always generate the shape that we see here. This was produced by doing a 360-degree devoted line trace from the variables that we passed in. This line trace will not only feed information back into update the behavior tree and the planner, but also goes towards updating the procedural mesh for the field of view that we see in game. So for the spy, we went for the goal-oriented action planner. This works by setting a goal and checking the state of the goal that you're trying to get to against a list of any possible actions. From that list of actions, we generate any viable actions that would have an effect that would match the goal state that we're trying to get to. Once we have any actions that would do that, we then check all of our actions again for effects against the preconditions of the actions we've just chosen. So this precondition to effect daisy chain forms the action plan that we end up with at the end of it. So from precondition to effect, precondition effect, and then onto the goal state at the end, all matching up to form a chain of actions. If we end up with more than one chain of actions that satisfy from our spy's current state to the goal state, if we end up with more than one string of actions that go from end to end, then what we'll do is we'll loop through but all of these potential plans and we'll update the plan cost, and then finally at the end we'll just choose the cheapest. Okay, so on to gameplay. Straight out of the gates we can see the spy going and picking up some C4 and utilizing the cheaper of the two actions of hacking and blowing the terminal, choosing to blow it because he has C4. When we move on to the second terminal, we have none, so we have to go for the more expensive action of hacking, which takes a little longer. As we're trying to move on to the third, you'll see as he rounds the corner, he spots the guard heading towards him and just dodges his field of view, lingering back for a little while. As we progress through the room, we get our first real visibility hit. So we take a dive into the cupboard that we've seen just below us. We linger there for a little while, wait for the guard to stop searching for us and wander off until we sneak out behind him. Unfortunately, we take a bit of a rough decision as to where to go next and get nailed by the guard the other side of the wall. Eventually, though, we get a pretty clear run through here so that we can hack the third terminal, but again, unlucky on the way out. As we proceed through to the fourth, we picked up some C4 by this point, so that's an immediate blow as well. As we go to leave the room, again, we've been spotted, so we're switching to the hiding, jumping in another cupboard, waiting for that guard just to stop searching for us and to wander off. As we come out, the guard is still there, so we slow ourselves right down. Luckily, he turns right, we turn left, so we can speed back up again and head on to the final terminal. Once the final terminal is hacked, the current goal will change to escape, so we're going to try and make a run for the exit, which is the bottom right hand corner. Unfortunately, we're seen by the first guard that we come across, so we take a dive into a tree. We get really lucky here in that the guard decides to explore deeper into the room, so when his back's turned we can just sneak straight out behind him and make an absolute run for the ending. Unfortunately, there is a guard there that nails us right at the end.